The 2026 World Club Challenge shapes as a brutal contrast in rugby league philosophies, with Brisbane's speed, skill and spine cohesion colliding against Hull KR's grind, kick pressure and aerial dominance. Brisbane enter with arguably the most complete attacking structure in the game, built around Reece Walsh's support play, Ezra Mam's running threat and Adam Reynolds' elite game management. Hull KR counter with a physically imposing forward pack led by Sauhaso Su and Tom Amona, while Tyrone May controls territory and tempo. The matchup will be decided by whether Hull KR can drag Brisbane into a slow, contact-heavy contest, or whether Brisbane stretch the field and exploit fatigue through ruck speed. The Broncos' edge comes in strike power across the park, but Hull KR's resilience, defensive spacing and discipline give them a real shot of turning this into a war of inches rather than highlight reels. So without further ado, this is the 2026 World Cup Challenge predicted lineups and positional head-to-head battles. At fullback is Arthur Mourgue versus Reece Walsh. Mourgue is safe, consistent and positionally elite under the high ball, which suits Hull KR's kick-chase system. Walsh offers explosiveness, off-the-cuff vision and unmatched speed through the middle. Hull KR will target Walsh with bombs and traffic, but if Brisbane win the ruck, Walsh's support lines will punish tired defenders far more than Mourgue can in return. At winger is Tom Davies versus Josiah Karapani. Davies thrives on aerial contests and physical yardage carries, ideal for relieving pressure. Karapani is lighter but more evasive, offering early set acceleration and strong finishing instincts. Hull KR will test Brisbane's kick defence on Karapani, but Brisbane gain the advantage when shifts create space rather than contests in the air. At centre is Peta Hiku versus Kotoni Staggs. Hiku is a ball-playing centre who straightens Hull KR's shape and unlocks his winger. Staggs is a power runner built to bend defensive lines and generate fast play the balls. The key battle is physicality, as Staggs running directly at Hiku could fracture Hull KR's edge, while Hiku must shift early to avoid being isolated. At centre is Oliver Gildert versus Gehamat Shibasaki. Gildert is crafty with footwork and support play, dangerous when lines are broken. Shibasaki is more defensive focused, rarely beaten one-on-one and strong in reads. Brisbane will target Gildert's edge with block shapes, while Hull KR will rely on his experience to handle Shibasaki's late footwork. This is a must-watch battle. At winger is Joe Burgess versus Dean Mariner. Burgess is a meter-eater who thrives in yardage battles and kick returns. Mariner is a speed-based finisher who needs space rather than contact. Hull KR want Burgess turning Brisbane around, but if Mariner gets clean ball off Walsh shifts, Burgess will struggle to match his acceleration in open field. At 5'8" is Mikey Lewis versus Ezra Mam. Lewis is a controlling 5'8" who plays square and supports through the middle. Mam is a game breaker who attacks short sides and fractured defensive lines. If Hull KR dominate ruck speed, Lewis can steer them into the grind, but any fatigue allows Mam to expose tired forwards in retreat. At halfback is Tyrone May versus Adam Reynolds. May is structured and reliable, steering Hull KR around with composure. Reynolds is the best tactician in the game, able to flip momentum with a single kick. Hull KR need to match Reynolds' kicking game in territory, because if Brisbane control field position, Hull KR will be trapped in a survival cycle. At prop is Sauhaso Su versus Corey Jensen. Su is built for collisions, generating momentum through contact. Jensen is a high work rate prop who relies on leg speed rather than brute force. Hull KR needs Su to dominate this clash early, but Brisbane's mobility through Jensen may expose Su's lateral movement in prolonged defensive sets. At hooker is Jez Litton versus Ben Hunt. Litton is sharp around the ruck and loves sniping against lazy markers. Hunt brings finals experience, kicking threat and composure under fatigue. If Litton catches Brisbane defenders napping, he can create momentum swings, but Hunt's ability to control tempo and manage last tackles gives Brisbane a clear edge. At prop is Tom Amone versus Payne Haas. Amone is aggressive and thrives in contact battles. Haas is the most destructive front rower in the game, combining leg drive with ball-playing skill. Hull KR must double Haas or he will shatter their middle rotation, while Amone must hold composure when Brisbane increase ruck tempo. At second row is Dean Hadley versus Brendan Piakura. Hadley is tireless, offering repeat efforts and defensive reliability. Piakura is raw power with speed, perfect for short line crashes. The danger for Hull KR is Piakura isolating Hadley in broken play, while Hadley's only chance is to grind Piakura into fatigue through workload. At second row is James Batchelor versus Jordan Reece. Batchelor is technically sound and strong in contact but lacks elite speed. Reece brings line running, aerial ability and power finishes. Brisbane will attack Batchelor with sweep shapes, while Hull KR rely on his discipline to avoid overcommitting and opening channels for Walsh. At lock is Elliot Michela versus Patrick Carrigan. Michela is a tackle machine who anchors Hull KR's defence. Carrigan is the ultimate modern lock, linking play and accelerating ruck speed. Brisbane hold the advantage here, because Carrigan's footwork and ball playing can expose Michela when Hull KR's markers tire. At interchange is Jordan Desaria versus Corey Payne. Desaria adds punch through the middle rotation. Payne is lightning around the ruck and raises Brisbane's tempo immediately. Hull KR must keep defensive spacing tight when Payne enters, because Desaria cannot match his speed or service under fatigue. At interchange is Sam Luckley versus Xavier Willison. Luckley brings reliability and defensive consistency. Willison is a damaging runner who thrives against retreating lines. Brisbane gain advantage if Willison is injected after quick play the balls, as Luckley's lateral movement will be tested heavily. At interchange is Jai Whitbread versus Benjamin Taykura. Whitbread offers size but limited mobility. Taykura is explosive, especially through the middle third. Brisbane will use Taykura to target tired Hull KR forwards, while Whitbread's role is simply to slow momentum and survive defensive pressure. At interchange is Reece Martin versus Jack Gojewski. Martin is a classy ball runner with a strong edge presence. Gojewski is more defensive, built to plug holes rather than create them. Hull KR benefit from Martin's goal kicking and attacking instinct, while Brisbane rely on Gojewski's discipline to prevent momentum swings. At reserve is Jack Charles versus Jesse Arthurs. Charles offers depth but limited experience at elite pace. Arthurs is a proven finisher who excels in structured shifts. If Arthurs is injected late, Hull KR's edge defence will be under siege, while Charles will be tested under Brisbane's high-speed transitions. My personal prediction is that Reece Walsh will be the clear man of the match because this game is set up perfectly for him. Brisbane's game plan will revolve around speed, early ball movement, and constant support through the middle, which is exactly where Walsh is at his most dangerous. With Adam Reynolds controlling the tempo and Ezra Mam engaging defenders on the edges, Walsh will be free to roam, sweep both sides, and appear in support when Hull KR's line inevitably fractures. I expect Brisbane to stretch Hull KR laterally, force them to compress, then exploit the gaps with pace and skill. Once the ruck quickens, the Broncos' NRL star power across the spine and forward pack will be too much to handle. Over 80 minutes, class and cohesion will tell. My predicted score is Broncos 38, Hull KR 6. Can Hull KR shock the world and take down the Brisbane Broncos? Or will Brisbane's class and star power prove too strong on the big stage? Drop your honest opinion in the comments below. Stay updated with all your rugby league content right here on YouTube by smashing the like button and subscribing to the channel for more of your daily dose of rugby league. Thank you.